What's up, guys? My name is Ariel, and I got my boy here, Ray, with me. Today, we're going to be reacting to a secular humanist trying to give an account for their morality, trying to persuade the audience and you on why we should follow secular humanism rather than Christianity. And the more and more we question secular humanists, the more and more we see where they are trying to ground their morality at and from very arbitrary, is very shallow. In fact, I would dare to say it is nonsensical.
I want to go ahead and say, spoiler alert for the viewer, he fails miserably. Anyways, go ahead.
So we're gonna go ahead and watch Craig, aka
Skull shirt.
Skull Shirt, aka Mohawk,
Weak Mohawk.
designer glasses. Okay, I'm sorry. And he is gonna be trying to give an account for where he grounds his morality from on why society should operate under secular humanism rather than Christianity. Let's go ahead and give it a look.
So, as a collective, we can get together and say, what makes you unhappy? What makes you hurt? What stops you from advancing as a human? And that is harm. We can get a bunch of
Hold on,
injured people
I saw
together.
best in the title. It's already over.
I mean, guys, immediately off the bat,
The prompt is best. It's over. Value judgment. How do you account for value judgments as a secular humanist?
right?
How do you account for that metaphysical category? You can't. And even right here, happy, harm. He in a few seconds, I believe he gets the human advancement. This is go ahead. And continue.
Right.
Sorry, just
He,
nitpick.
I mean, he's gonna account for it really soon, but you kind of did jump the gun, right?
Sorry.
We are just
This is the first time I've watched this. I'm
yes.
sorry.
The question is, where are you wanting for us to go ahead and follow why we should advance? Like, where is it upon humans? Is it within our? You'll see. Again, now I'm starting to jump the gun.
Sorry.
Okay, guys.
And say, how did that happen? This is harm. How do we stop these things? This is harm. What makes you unhappy? This is harm. And we can look at what makes that happen. You are trying to come up with a situation where harm can just be changed and we can make harm not mean having harm. But that's not what secular humanism does, because as a society, as collective, as a collective as individuals.
Are you kidding me? Really?
Wait a minute. Wait. So he attempts to accuse Andrew of having this arbitrary and variant standard of harm. But on the tail end, on the other side of his mouth, he just said that it can come to a consensus. Wait a minute. But the entailment of a consensus, meaning that it has the ability to change. So that's your position, not ours.
Very nice.
Idiot. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut
This
that part
cut.
out.
Yeah, my
I'm
bad.
kidding. I'm not. I mean, so he is saying, Andrew, you're saying, and you Christians are saying that, and again, I'm sure you can already assume that he is accounting his morality based off of consensus, off of people collectively agreeing, hey, this is harm, therefore we should not do this harmful actions to one another. Okay. Now Andrew's saying, now what if that simply changes? He's saying, no, 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 it can't change. What? Are you really telling me? You are telling the audience, the millions of people, or the hundreds of thousands of people who are listening to you, saying that people as a collective cannot decide today and in the next 50 years that, you know what, perhaps this is harmful now. Back then, it wasn't harmful, but this is harmful. And what could be considered harmful now? You're about to see. Andrew's going to go ahead and ask an awesome question. Watch.
We would come up with to not do that to make everyone happy. People aren't going to be happy if we do that.
Kick it back to
Secular humanism
Auckland.
wants people being happy.
Okay, then Craig, I just have a simple question for you. When it comes to child transition surgery, right, we have a split on whether or not that's harmful. Who should I side with?
All right.
Game over.
Brilliant.
Game over.
Absolutely brilliant.
Game over.
Awesome question. Remember, we were just simply saying he has the audacity. Secular humanists have the audacity. Or, fine, I don't want to go ahead and jump all secular humanists into this category, but they would have to concede to the fact that secular humanists, we all collectively agree of what is harmful. But then the question is, wait a minute, we can't, as a collective, say that perhaps one day what we mean by harmful can change, such as, I don't know, child transitioning.
I mean, it's game over. It's 100% game over. It's funny. I like that, everything's coming full circle, because I remember when you and I first delved into secular humanists, this was one of the notes that I'd actually jotted down on, because I watched the video. I can't remember. I think it's some AI dude or something, and I was like, hold on. It doesn't even sound good on the baseline. It doesn't, because there's a whole bunch of value judgments within secular humanists that they can't account for. But then, if you were to accept, their definition or the premise of how they view the world, one of the notes I put is, hold on, you guys are going to disagree with one another. And that's exactly what
Wow.
Andrew just pointed
Very
out.
nice.
So it's kind of cool seeing that full
Yeah.
circle.
Very nice.
Um,
Very nice. So, I don't know if we should just go ahead and end the video there. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, guys, that's one of the problems. One of the points that Andrew Wilson has brought up is essentially asking the simple yet powerful question: what if we decide one day that a certain action is harmful, but on the other side of the aisle, people say it is not harmful? And of course, Craig, I'm sure if you want to watch the whole video, he says, me personally, I don't think that we should transition children because of the negative consequences. But the other side, again, they said, no, the consequences are that they're going to feel a whole lot better about themselves. They will no longer experience gender dysphoria. So that's one example. Now, Ray, I don't know if you want to continue the video or we can just simply stop it there and pick up
done.
other points. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm done. Let's go ahead and continue with the
All
clip.
right. So,
Who should I side with?
The position of that is something that I wouldn't want to get into because. Am I allowed to get my
audience, that was like a
What
movie
about
from the
harm?
audience.
Maharm!
I didn't say I wasn't going to. I would say it's something I wouldn't want to. But again, I'm not allowed
'Cause
to
you
get my words
can't.
out there. Right.
Right.
So as a collective society, we would get together and see what happens. And that is going through changes at the moment. Personally, I don't agree with that. Right. And the
Who cares?
current position within secular humanists seems to be that allowing children to transition is something that causes harm. Right.
Wait,
that
wait,
is
hold
the
on,
position
hold
that I
on,
take.
hold on, hold on.
Yo.
So it just,
No, let me speak first. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
so wait. So it came to a consensus, right? So I mean, of course, that rebuttal is already a fallacy. So it came to a consensus. But if we were to accept that premise, he's of course reluctant to actually delve into that because his position can't. He just says it comes to a consensus, and Andrew's like, okay, so who do we side with? Greg, you can't give an answer.
Right.
You can't. You
And
can't give an
then-
answer.
And then he says, "Me personally." Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
now we know what it
subjective,
really
yeah.
Now we know what it really boils down to. Now
Right.
we know what it really stems down to. It is I am the ultimate arbiter of morality. That's it. And if I get enough people to agree with me that child transition is wrong, then therefore I am right. But for those other people, I don't know. Perhaps they're wrong. You know what? I honestly do think that they're wrong. Wait a minute. I thought it was a consensus thing.
Yeah. What, Craig, you can't give an answer here. You can't. He said 50-50 split. And then if it boils down, okay, then we're just going to subjectively reject your input on child transition. We don't care.
No.
We have a subjective preference from the contrary. Now we're at a stalemate again.
Right.
What happened, Craig?
Yep. Really important. Let's go ahead and continue on Craig's reasoning.
Personally hold when I look at the evidence and
Personally.
what other secular humanists are saying is that allowing children to transition causes harm because children are not at a place where they are able to make that decision. Their brain is not fully developed, and especially people with we look at
Armageddon.
neurodivergence, who neurodivergents actually have a much higher percentage of wanting to transition and things like that, and that could be an effect of them being neurodivergent. So we have to look at individual cases, but
Again, he's just
personally,
simply saying what he
children in
thinks is
transition
harmful,
because they're
not what the
ready
other
to make
side
that
is
position-
saying is
that
harmful.
decision.
He's
Their
not
brains
even
aren't fully
engaging in
developed until like the
hypothetical.
age of 25. So letting children do that before they have
See,
to
again,
yes.
it's
Our
all
collective
on his
experience
opinion.
Demonstrates what harm is important to you. So then what's going on here is just so you understand, I just demonstrated something very important to you.
Right.
You said we know what harm is.
Yes.
Our collective experience demonstrates what harm is. Then I ask you a simple question. There's two different collections of people right now. One who believes that this is very harmful, and one, like you, who believes it's not very harmful.
Right, what we've been
Which
saying.
one of those are secular
Which
humanists?
one of those, well, humanists themselves disagree. Matt Dillahunty, who's a humanist, for instance, is right as we speak, probably
Okay.
sucking lady balls, right? Like,
Okay, I just had to stop it there. Yeah, it's again what we've been saying. Andrew Wilson is saying this now. Okay, so that's just one point that I know we can go on and on why the grounding our morality off of society consensus is completely arbitrary and can change at any whim. Guys, we have a split in the middle, or I think it's a little bit more, you know, than a split, but I know what Andrew meant. People saying, you know what, children transitioning isn't wrong. Children transitioning is wrong. Okay, that's one example. Another example is, I'm sure y'all guys have seen it all over X if you're on X, and that is the rise of the support of Nazism. That is the rise of the support of people saying, you know what, perhaps Hitler wasn't a wrong guy. No, 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 not perhaps. He was not a wrong guy. You know what, we need to go ahead and get rid of every person who was a part of that ethnicity. Only then can the world become a better place. They are harming me. But yet on the other side, they're saying, no, 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 they're not. You see what I mean, guys? General consensus. We're going to ground our morality off of that, right? Sound like I'm about to cry.
I mean, it's despicable. I mean, this is pathetic. I guess this is what you have to do to get on DebateCon. Or this
Debate Okay,
modern
guys.
day debate. It's the entailment of secular humanists. You can't
Yep.
ground your morality. It reduces to a subjective experience.
Mhm.
Andrew asked him to look at the screen that we have Andrew on right now.
I know that's. I
You
know.
look like a
I
spur. We're doing a
kinda
boy
did
bad.
look at
Hold
my boy
on.
bad.
You
Nah,
gotta resume
man,
it.
my boy's in the zone. Now, of course, we can go on and on of why grounding our morality off of the collective consensus is completely arbitrary and absurd. Okay. Another point that I want to touch, Ray, is if secularists believe in evolution, it is a double whammy. If our brains are predetermined to do our actions, to give our thoughts, essentially there is no I under evolution. There is no I if the Big Bang just happened out of random chance and we were here randomly through millions of years of evolution. So therefore my brain is not really trustworthy. How do I know if the thoughts that I'm thinking are actually trustworthy? How do I know if what I am observing is in fact reality? How do I know if anything is true if my brain is predetermined to think so? So if that is the case, Ray, then what does that mean for morality?
Yeah, then they're not able to account for ethics essentially, because you can't hold anybody more responsible if we don't have the will to actually act upon that particular action. And this is like the determinist and then the naturalist fallacy. And it also undercuts the ability to even make an argument, succumb to knowledge. So you're already refuting yourself with you attempting to present that own position, which of course I'm not going to get too much into. But yeah, the entailment of determinism, the entailment of naturalism, and hold the position. It's self-refuting
Right.
if you're
So
making an argument
exactly. So you cannot go ahead and bash
for
Christians
ethics. Yeah.
for saying that homosexuality is wrong. You cannot go ahead and bash Christians for saying, you know what, that transgender is in fact not a man, it's a woman. I was predetermined to say so, but yet under secular humanists, they are having a document saying everyone must go ahead and align to this. According to who? To your own predetermined brain? What about my own predetermined brain that wants to completely disregard the social contract? Oh, we're going to go ahead and judge you? What? How? Again, perhaps there is such thing as an objective morality in which everyone instinctively, innately knows between right and wrong. But under secular humanism, it doesn't matter if I want to follow your document. Why ought I? There is no basis in which I should behind your own subjective reasoning, behind your predetermined brain. So, you guys, again, we can obviously go on and on in more depth, but we don't want to keep our viewers here so long. That's really all I have to say.
Craig, you got cooked. This debate should have been over in 5 minutes.
It should have. You know what, guys? Let's look at Craig again. He is a good man. He, wants to do good. He's saying, "Hey, guys, we just can't harm people. That's all." But come on, Craig. Send this video to him. Watch someone actually does it, and he responds.
Guess that's it, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more. And I'm out of here like Dr. Doom. Turn around.